Hey folks, well, I'm out on another hike today. It's a beautiful day. Temperatures are in the 60s here in early January. So I decided to get back out here and come back to Land Between the Lakes. My goal this year, hopefully in the winter and moving into the spring, is to get all of the Fort Henry trails hiked. It's about 30 miles worth of trails. And so I started on it last week, and now this week I'm going to start on a different section of the trail that I want to get to. And today it's roughly close to about a 7-mile hike. The part I want to go to today is going to be, I am right here on the map, and I'm going to go down this way, cut across over to here, go down the Artillery Trail, a section of it, all the way down to the Piney Campground Trail, which I've already done some of that. I've done the Piney Campground Trail up until this point right here, number 21 on the map. So this will close out that, and I'll have that part of the Piney, all that completed. And then I'm going to come back up the Volunteer Trail and then back up here to where I am now at the beginning of the Telegraph Trail, at the beginning at the trailhead for the Fort Henry Trail System, at least over here on the western part of it. So roughly, like I said, I think about 7 miles total. Sometimes it goes longer because I have a tendency to kind of wander off here and there and check out things and see what's available. Sometimes you might see an old home site there along the way. You might see some stairs or a chimney. And so it's pretty neat to go check it out. A lot of history. This area right here is where soldiers traveled from Fort Henry over to Fort Donelson. Confederates and Union both took up traveling through on these paths, and I'm going to be taking on some of these old roads. There's some old wagon trails and all. So it's really fascinating, the history that took place here in this area. So thanks for coming along today, and let's go have a good hike. It's like a good path here. It's got quite a bit of leaves on it, some limbs down, but not too bad. I wonder right here if these are old rifle pits from on the outskirts of Fort Henry, the way that the land is right here. If you can see, there's a fence. I'm not going to cross over, but if you can see where it's depressed in through there, I thought maybe that used to be a creek or a stream, but right up here it all kind of flattens out pretty much. So it makes me wonder if these were old rifle pits that the Confederates used to help defend Fort Henry. I know that there are sections out through here in the woods where there are rifle pits, what's left of them, so this very well could be them right here. Got a set of little sketchy steps here to go down. Hopefully they do not fall. It's pretty well covered with leaves, so it's kind of hard to see. Alright, I made it. This right here is the Volunteer Trail. This will take me down to the Piney Trail, and then I could go to the left and then come back up the Artillery Trail. But I'm going to go this way and keep following along the Telegraph Trail until I get to the Artillery Trail, and then take it and then come back up the Volunteer Trail. Now here on my map that I've got situated here, I have gone so far from right here at the trailhead right there, and I've come all the way over here. Here's number 3, and then over here's 4, and that's where I start to go down the Artillery Trail. All right, I'm at number 4 here. If I keep going that way, that's the Telegraph Trail. It just keeps going all the way across, like I said, to the South Welcome Station. I wanted to go a half mile into it and then come back to try to get this little connector out of the way, because when I do the other part on the other side of where number 5 starts, it's going to take me away from that. But it's kind of late in the day, and I don't know if I'll have time. That's an extra mile I'm going to be adding on. So I think I'm going to keep going this way right here. This is the Artillery Trail, and I'm going to follow it, stick with my current plan, and take the Artillery Trail all the way down to the Piney Trail, and then again come back up the volunteer trail. And right now I'm at almost 2 miles of hiking. So I should have 5 to go, but it's going to be more than that, I'm pretty sure. Trail will continue on that way, and this way begins the Piney Trail, and I'm going to take it down about a mile, and then I'll catch the volunteer trail and then go back up towards my vehicle. So far this Piney Trail is very flat. The artillery trail had a lot of uphill. I'm going to be going back down that one on my next hike. I'm going to take a loop down the Devil's Backbone and then come up the artillery trail, and that way it'll all be downhill. But I think when I get on volunteer, there's going to be quite a bit of uphill on it. But the Piney so far, pretty flat, not a bad trail. All right, here at Marker 21, this is where the volunteer trail begins. I can tell that this trail is going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be quite a bit of uphill. It's a pretty steep hill up there. So, all right, got to get it done. Going into some dark woods right here. It's pretty thick in this area. This is probably the thickest that I've seen it on any of the trails today, with being wintertime and a lot of the trees having lost their leaves and all the undergrowth dead and leaves laying everywhere. It hasn't been that thick, but right through here it's pretty thick. It's pretty neat. It's a nice little area here. See the sun shining through up there, but a pretty cool spot here on the volunteer trail. Still going through some thick woods here. I think it's going to clear out a little bit, but man, kind of creepy here in the, well, late in the day. Sun is going down. I don't want to be in here definitely when it gets dark. Great place to see a Sasquatch or two, probably. The rumors are that the Sasquatch live on the southern end of Land Between the Lakes, and the Dogman lives on the northern end of the Land Between the Lakes. But done quite a bit of hiking out here over the last couple of years. I've never seen either one. But oh, here's a neat little bridge. We'll cross over this, see how sturdy this is. Oh, it's not bad at all. See the creek there, sun going down. Whew, just walked up this hill. You can look over here. It goes way down through there. It's really awesome. Oh, still got a little ways to go, and then I'll be at the top of this ridge. Then a little less than a mile to go till I get to the end of the trail. Getting closer to the end of the volunteer trail now. Almost there, and once I get to the end of it, I'm going to make a left, and it's less than half a mile back to where I'm parked at the actual trailhead. And that's taking the Telegraph Trail from this one, from Volunteer, back to the trailhead. But I've really enjoyed this volunteer trail. It was nice. It's different things to see, as in more open areas, and then you find yourself more in the forest, and then you go up along a ridge. It's a pretty steep hike up through there, but it was a nice view from up there, and the sun setting off in the distance. It's hard to catch it on here, so I didn't get it on here, but you can see it through the trees. But a very nice trail. I think I like the volunteer trail better than the artillery trail, just because it felt like there was more to see. But I'm almost to the end of this one, and I'm going to be crossing back over the road and then going through a little stretch of woods, and I'll be back at my truck. Back here at the culvert that goes under the road, and walking back up the steps here to get up to the top. Much easier going up than it was going down. And here I am on the highway. Safe to cross. And I may find a different way to go down through here. I may walk down this way and go down. It's pretty steep right there, and there's no steps. All right, this is much better. I went around. There's that culvert again on this side of the road. Went around down a not as steep embankment, and that was way better. All right, on to the truck. Well, I just made it over here. I'm done with the hike, and I got over here to the edge of Kentucky Lake, right here on the shore. Got a last glimpse of the sunset right there. I wish I could have got it just a few minutes ago. It was so much brighter, but I was still in the middle of the woods. But there she is, sun setting over the lake. Not a bad sight, not a bad way to end a really good hike out here at Land Between the Lakes. I ended up hiking over 7.5 miles today, and felt really good. Temperature in the 60s for early January, not bad at all. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of my hike today, going all along the Telegraph Trail, the Artillery Trail, down to the Piney Trail, then back up the Volunteer Trail, and now out here at the very edge of Kentucky Lake watching the sunset. I hope you have a wonderful day, and again, here it's the beginning of 2026. I hope you have a wonderful year, and if you can, get out and find you a hiking trail. It really does make a difference. Take care, and we'll see you next time.